Hello there, and welcome to our special personality program that looks at personalities that have impacted society. And today we are privileged to have someone that has distinguished himself identifying with the intellectually disabled persons. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Akuchi Family Services, also the founder of Umuibo USA, and of course, former chairman of MBC USA Medical Mission to Nigeria, currently occupying the position of Director of Culture, is no other person other than Sir Emeka Okoro. It's my pleasure to welcome you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So let's start a little way by you're giving us insight into your person because I know that you made a transition from Nigeria into the United States and you were able to stabilize yourself. Was it so smooth? So can you share it to the benefit of those who come in and don't find appropriate way to settle down?
Oh, uh, well, I have to say that when I came into the United States, I came in the 1980. I came in actually 1980.
Hmm.
I was young. I was turning 18. So I was young and very excited to leave home. So I didn't expect what I saw, but it was a culture shock. Uh, at that age, where my friends and family are miles and miles away. Finding myself in the United States was daunting, I can say the least. But I survived it. I, we had very supportive MBC community in the Southern California where I came in. I made friends quickly, and here I am today. So to say that the transition was that easy, it's not easy. But I had a few things working in my favor. I was young, inexperienced. I didn't have anything to compare life with except secondary school. So coming here, it was another adventure for me. Um, so it is
Well, US is a country of where ideas meet opportunities and it creates wealth. To what extent did you build your capacity to be able to key into that? Apart from meeting friends and all that, how much capacity were you able to build over the years?
well. When we came here, we actually came to go to school so
Mm.
that we can finish our education and go back to Nigeria. So we didn't start thinking about settling in the United States until when I finished my master's degrees. And so looking towards home, visiting home, everybody told me you better stay back there. And that's when we started seeking for employment. Um, I've always worked uh, to impact people in every profession that every job that I've taken. So my first degree was in business administration, and my second degree was in counseling psychology, where I did marriage, family, and child counseling. And so I went into the field thinking I am going to impact people. So
Well, you have an organization you run. You founded and you're running that very Akuchi Family Services,
yes,
assisting those that are intellectually disabled, the way you described it. Would you want to enlighten it what it's all about and how
well,
much you've impacted society running this very organization or company?
good. Yes, I have currently. I am the CEO of Akuchi Family Services. What we do is we provide counseling, we provide job placement, we provide uh, activities of daily living uh, to people that are intellectually disabled, um, and we're funded by the state. And so, with that, I've been able to employ a lot of people that are Nigerians that come here are seeking employment. I'm able to employ uh, uh, the Americans, able to employ, people that are seeking employment and looking to help people and provide a lot of educational opportunities for them. And so that in itself is what I have done um, uh, here in California. I've also I started Umibo USA when I had my young kids, and I saw that there wasn't an opportunity for them to learn the culture of where I came from, Mbise or Igbo. I decided to set up a class where I taught Igbo. I taught my wife helped to teach classes in dancing, and we brought in the essence of the Igbo-ness, where we taught the children where we came from. And we decided through the same company, Umugbe USA, to set up Compassion in Action, which is a medical outreach program that we go to Mbise specifically every year. We do that in Obohia, we do it in Nguru, we do it in uh, um, Eziama, and the neighboring communities in Mbise uh, to provide succor for our people. And so those are the areas that I've worked with to both here in California and then back home in Nigeria.
Okay, before we talk about the efforts of the MBC USA, I want us to focus on looking at MBC community in Nigeria, looking at the quality of personalities that are produced from there who are occupying exalted positions, and the level of development that we see in MBC. Uh, Excusing what government is not doing, what is your impression?
Well, I looked at looking at MBC and looking at the fact that before we were born, or at least when we were little kids, that the development, the building of schools, the building of hospitals, the building or the making of tap waters in Mbise community that I come from were done by people who volunteered themselves. Some of them are in government, but most of them were individuals that collectively built the likes of Mbise Secondary School, where I went to school. We had pipe-borne waters that was done by Mwaga when he was, I believe, the minister. Um, uh, and then we have the county schools that were collectively built. We have one in Ubohia where I came from, and some of our land was used in building that, and we contributed manual level.
Mhm.
So our people have collectively built our communities, and we have numerous personalities in our community that I think that have done great. So I think joining them is something that, it wouldn't be fair that I would live in this community and not contribute anything into that community of Umbise, given the capacity
Mhm.
of and then the people that have built that community that have given me the opportunity to transition from there into America.
Well, now expanding to MBC USA as an umbrella body of MBC in the diaspora, is meant to bridge that gap of level of development there. Uh, let's look at the vision and mission and what attracted you to MBC USA and what they've been able to do going forward.
Mbise USA, to me, embodies the Mbise-ness of an Mbise man. Mbise USA have, since their inception, have had the community Mbise nation in Nigeria at their heart. They've had that through the medical mission. They've had that through various scholarships. They've had that through working with Ezurezu. They've had that through helping to have credible people in MBC get into credible offices so that they can help the MBC people. You can see what happened during the COVID, how they rallied, provided all sorts of COVID materials, the PPP, the all. I mean, they contributed money and bought all those things, face masks, and decided that that pandemic will not affect that community. That is the Mbise-ness of Mbise. And that's what attracted me to the body of the Mbise USA.
Looking at successive administrations, there have been this struggle for power sometimes, and with the current administration in place, how would you assess that? Why do we have to really go through that process instead of having a very peaceful process sometimes? And that kind of draws us back, when the wrong people come into positions.
Well, when you have something, when you have an engine running, when you have anything that you're running and you're doing it well, people from the outside look at it and they think it's easy. And they want that thing that you have as a person. If you have a beautiful family, the young people were looking at it and thinking there is no work in making a good family. But I have to tell you, I'm part of this administration and I'm very proud of it. This administration is very transparent. The structure in place is very transparent. The accountability, the people that are in our finance, they make everything. I mean, I just ran the medical mission 2 years, and the funds that I needed was provided on timely, and I was made to account for every money that they gave me, and they allowed me to use the resources and implemented it in the way that we wrote the proposal that we wrote to the MBC. The executive were very supportive. Everybody played one role or the other to make sure that those things were successful. So I really don't begrudge anybody that wants to run MBC USA. MBC USA is very credible. It's now it's been elevated to a very prominent position in in the world right now. People you see for the last few years now, you see MBC Europe, you see MBC Asia, you see MBC Canada. Everybody transitioning, coming into MBC USA conventions, and so I don't begrudge anybody wanting to be a part of it. And I think we should have a credible process to get qualified people to run MBC USA. And we have the quality people to run MBC USA.
Okay, let's get to your primary area of service at this time. You are the director of culture, and it's very unique. You've already started doing something before you were appointed to that very position with Igbo and all that. And studying a culture of a people is the way of life, the things they eat, their way of dressing, and what have you. Ability to intermarry and sustain the culture. How would you look at your position as a director of culture in pursuit of these goals?
Very well put. I like the fact that you outlined what a culture is. The culture is a way of life.
So,
Only thing that we
what's your
as
program of
MBC
action?
people, the only thing that I think that we can export to the United States of America, where we are today, is our culture. And they admire our industry, the way how hardworking the average Igbo man is, and then by extension an Mbise man. They admire our respect for our elders, the way we respect our parents, our respect for our families. We have a very good family system, which tends to support um, uh, uh, our parents or our relatives, siblings, and all that. These are the kind of things that we, as MBC people, should promote, um, because it's helped us to develop as a people. And we want to, in the MBC USA Culture Department, we want to go down to our children, catch them early, and instill in them that hardworking ethics, the industry that we were taught at home. And of course, our children are doing exceedingly well in all areas that they've gotten into, in schools and in their places of work, and in places that they found themselves. So I think we're doing very well in that area. We want to use some of our children that have succeeded to mentor the younger ones, because as a parent, the voices that children hear, 75% of it is from the outside. So if we use successful MBC youth that have already imbibed the culture, then we can use them to catch the children early, to continue the education, the process that we've already started. And MBC USA offers us, during our conventions, offers us those unique opportunities where our children get together. We do cultural extravaganza that involves our language, that involves the way we dress, that involves the food that we eat. And of course, they see the respect that we have for our adults, and the respect that we have, of course, for our siblings. And so the individualism that is, prominent in the West is not seen in an MBC man or child.
Okay, let's look at it. One area you just talked about it, the language question. Our children appear to be more aligned with influenced by the language of the West, English speaking. And usually we have, and there's another aspect of marriage, not marrying people of their culture more often than not. And there is need for reset of such this thing, and annual convention. How much can this address it? Just meeting once a year, given the number of years they stay here. So, what is this thing, the submission there?
The once a year is actually it gives us the opportunity to gather them. But the things that happen is, as they meet, there is this tendency to create connections between each other. There's also WhatsApp groups that is geared towards the youth, where they can register and meet each other, where some of the issues are discussed that relates to them. So the process is going to go through that, through the connections that they make when they meet in the convention, the continuity that they will follow, and then the culture department also, in conjunction with the technology department of MBC USA, is trying to create an app that will be part of the program, so that any child can log in, start, and then start learning our language. And that will expose them to more things like the culture. And of course, the cultural department will be available to answer any questions if the parents are not able to do so. But the awareness is created during the convention, and we follow through by what we do through the website, and what we will do through the WhatsApp groups that connects our children. And of course, us as parents have a lot of work to do. We need to be able to make sure that our children are following through with what you learned as a child, and then what they hear from other adults when they come out to the MBC USA conventions. Yes, it's only once a year, but it gives them the opportunity to come and practice what they've learned. That we have an opportunity for them to dress in a cultural show, and that means that they'll be proud, maybe say, or Igbo children displaying their clothes. We have a pageant that will be coming, and these questions that are going to be asked are going to be Igbo questions, maybe say questions. At least they know where they come from, they know the history of their little villages and town in Mbise. Then those things excite our children and will hopefully create more eagerness to learn more about their places of origin, which is in Mbise.
Okay, what do you think are the challenges, that are affecting us or affecting the organization or people that are in the diaspora, and what could be done to redress them?
The challenges as it comes to our children, our culture, or
Generally, as a people, who are living in the diaspora with an umbrella body like MBC USA, what do you think could be done? What are the things you observe that people, pass through sometimes that need to possibly find a good policy or program to ease those very challenges?
okay. One of the challenges that I think that faces us is the fact that we should be welcoming, especially to our brothers and sisters that are migrating into United States. To give them a soft landing. Just your first question is my transition from Nigeria to here. Um, it's very difficult when people uh, get educated in the Nigerian system, seek for jobs for years, and then having to come here to transition. So they need soft landing. MBC USA as a body has actually, through their conventions, have given opportunities for some of our brothers to come in. But the transitional process is needed to help them situate themselves. Then, when it comes to the organization itself, I think we have a lot of capable people, but they are staying away from the organization based on either gossip or some negative things that they perceive about us as a people in Nigeria or what. I think everybody should roll up their sleeves and come on to MBC USA, contribute your talent, because that's the only way that this organization is going to be built up. Nobody is going to do it for you. So when we come together, we will buy the supremacy of ideas. They will come up, and then we see ourselves being uplifted. I'm sure today MBC USA have over 20 something chapters, as opposed to 6 or 7 chapters that they started with. With that number of people, that has elevated the game. And when we do things, we do it together. So I think that the growth should bring synergy, and that energy should be transferred into positive energy to help us work for the betterment of Ndembise that is resident in the United States, and then our siblings and parents that are living in Nigeria.
Okay, briefly, you describe Ndembise as very industrious, hardworking, and all that. Given those qualities, where do you see Mbise in the next 5 to 10 years?
Be say in the next 5 to 10 years, in the context of Nigeria, it's difficult to predict what is going on. But the the efforts that some of us are making um, at home you see a lot of non-profit organizations coming in different forms, providing technology seminars, providing medical missions, providing educational grants to some of our people at home. I think some of those things will have the effect of paying it forward when some of these people get educated and get maybe established in the fields. These people that are getting some of these field, I mean, these freebies,
Mm.
that they should be able to pay it forward and help uh, develop the society. I think I see a development mindset in MBC, and I think that most people with the resources do have a few people that they're helping, and that's where that's how I see MBC moving on.
Okay. On that note, I'd like to say a very special thank you to you. I appreciate this interaction with you on the leadership platform. I thank you once again.
Thank you very much, and it's an honor. Thank you.